Okay. I'll go ahead and call to order the special magistrate meeting of Wednesday, January 28, 2026. And staff roll call, please.
Drew Smith, City Attorney. John Gifford, Code Enforcement.
Michelle Ficacello, Clerk to the Magistrate.
And no one else is here. Okay. Our minutes of our meeting of December 10th, any additions, corrections, or deletions?
No, sir.
All right, we'll consider those accepted as submitted. All right, I understand we have one matter that's going to be continued from today's agenda, and that's parking citation appeal P02273 FB Albert Care due to a medical emergency, correct?
Yes, Mr. Kayer called me today and requested that.
Yeah, well, we'll grant the continuance, and it'll be reset to either the next hearing or the next date he would be available. All right, we have just three other parking citation appeals, but two of them involve a matter that I'm going to speak to both of you about is, well, I guess the third one is also the telephonic appearance. All right, let me just do this. Let me just roll into the first one, which is P02284FB Dimitri Drapich. Are you here, sir? If you would, please step to the podium to be sworn.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Would you please state your full name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Dimitri Alex Drapach, 39 Jasmine Drive in Palm Coast.
Okay. Well, sir, you are appealing a citation that was issued on November 15th of last year at about 3:37 in the afternoon for parking on the sidewalk.
Right.
All right, and it's your appeal. What do you want to tell me about it?
Well, first of all, I just want to apologize, but I guess my appeal will consist with the presentation of actual sites of that parking area, which...
You submitted photographs.
Yes.
And does that reflect what you would be prepared to otherwise share?
Well, I suppose I have similar, but different.
Well, before you go on, if there's anything else, first the city attorney would have to see it, and then it would have to be provided to the clerk to go into the record. But why don't you tell me first?
Right. So,
you know, I've read your statement that there was construction, and you felt that because there was construction, you weren't blocking the sidewalk. To sum it up, correct?
there was a car, yes, in a sense, first of all, it's an unknown area. This afternoon, I'm not familiar with the area to begin with, and there was a bunch of cars parked in the same row. And sidewalk, if you will, is not really clearly marked, in my opinion. There was a construction site, there was no clear sign of that, and there was no raised area on the sidewalk. So
Let me ask you a question. Is this the area where you were parked?
I suppose.
Is that your vehicle?
No, it's somebody else's.
Okay.
But I
What does that look like to you? What does that look, be honest? What does that look like to you? That's a sidewalk. That's a sidewalk. That's not debatable.
I have no argument.
All right, and let me go into some policy so that you understand. I'm in a wheelchair. What am I going to do when there's a vehicle like this one that's parked on the sidewalk? What do? Do I go into the road with my wheelchair or on my crutches if I'm walking on crutches? Isn't that a hazard?
I suppose.
Yeah, no, not supposed. Let's be real here. Yes, it's a hazard. So parking on the sidewalk, or if I have either of those issues, or I'm on an electric scooter because I don't have mobility issues, what do? Turn around and go a long distance? No, sir. I understand. Right? All right. I'm not persuaded. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm speaking on behalf of those people who are put either at peril or at great inconvenience by virtue of parking on the sidewalk.
I understand, but if anything can be said to my point is very simple. City or that area did not provide any clear marking. To me,
It doesn't need to be marked. Now, the pavement is for the driving, and if there's parking, it's designated as parking.
all right, my point was there was not clear mark. Again, I would like
It's your own evidence, and it speaks against what you're trying to
Well,
say.
then I misunderstand the meaning of sidewalk, I guess, at this point. That's all I have to say. And it was
Okay, if that's not sidewalk, where do pedestrians go?
I mean, it's a
Where
construction
do
site.
they go?
I don't know.
Let's be real.
No, I understand.
The equivocation is what's upsetting me. It's clear. You're still not acknowledging that you made a mistake.
I probably made a mistake. I'm not here
That's
to.
equivocation. You know what? I want it black and white. It's a yes or no. Did you make a mistake?
Yes, I did make mistake.
Okay.
And to me, it was not clear. That's all I'm trying to say. And to my mind, it was not clear marked in addition to cars parked next to it. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not.
Not persuaded. I'm not persuaded.
Okay.
Somebody has to be the individual who steps up for those who are put at risk or indisposed by virtue of the choice you made. And I'm that person. I'm sorry.
Right.
So I'm going to deny your appeal.
Okay.
What's the city's pleasure?
City will defer your judgment on this one.
I'm sorry.
Defer to your judgment on this one.
The fine will remain plus, what are the costs on this matter? And that would be in addition.
How much? Right.
I recognize parking is a challenge in Flagler Beach, but that does not give excuse to.
Right. Judge, I'm not arguing that point that it was the wrong judgment, but it was not clearly marked plus everybody will park in the same row.
I hope they all receive citations as well, but they didn't appeal them, you did. And so you're the individual that I'm speaking to.
I was not aware of that. Again, to me, parking is raised, sidewalk is raised, and it was behind this house with construction site. Everything was closed, everything was blocked up.
Look outside this door. What do you see?
The same thing in the park right there, car park.
There are, and there's also a sidewalk beyond it. There's sidewalk and.
Well, again, I'm not, sir,
Okay.
I'm not here to dispute that.
I'm not trying to be harsh, but I'm trying to get across the importance of that we don't do that because it creates problem. Somebody's pushing a child in a stroller, or do they go in the street? This is what happens when people block the sidewalk by parking on it.
Well, again, it was not my intention. I misunderstood the sign.
Anything further from the city? Mr. Hevig? All right, sir. There's the order. Good day, sir. The next matter is P02277FB, Frederick Rialbuto. Yes, sir, if you'd step to the podium to be sworn, sir.
I do.
Good afternoon, sir. If you would, please state your full name and address for the record.
Frederick Rialbuto, 5500 Ocean Shore Boulevard, Unit 91, Ormond Beach, Florida 32176.
All right. Let's see here. You received a citation on November 15th, 2025 at about 2:16 in the afternoon, and the citation is for parking where prohibited by official sign. And vehicle was a Pontiac Solstice, which I gather is the vehicle in this photo.
It is, yes.
Does that look familiar to you, sir?
I've got pretty much the same picture, yeah.
Yeah, all right. It's pretty clear to me. What's that sign say? What does it say, please?
It says emergency vehicles only, yeah.
Is your vehicle an emergency vehicle?
No.
Is it? No.
No, I was looking at the totality of the situation. There was a sign.
Wait, let's cut to the quick here. Why do you think that sign is there? What's the reason? Let's look at the policy. What do you think that's for? I know right where it is. It's north of the pier, correct? Along the beach.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody's drilling. Fire rescue, fire truck, ambulance, law enforcement has the need to access that individual rapidly. Your vehicle is parked where they need to go in order to be able to do that. Somebody's having a coronary. Somebody has a child that's choking. What do they do? Block the road?
Wow, I was mere inches over the line. I mean, there was 35 to 40 feet there. I recognize that.
Doesn't matter. You know what? An inch, as far as I'm concerned, is a violation.
And by the letter of the law, you're absolutely right.
It couldn't be more clear. Again, we're back to the fact that parking is a challenge here, and people make poor choices about trying to park where they shouldn't. And something, once again, just as in the previous matter, your convenience is not at the expense of the risk of those who may need emergency support.
I recognize that. I actually had come up to the place to get pizza, and I had the police I had already seen, and they had let it pass. So I said, okay, this must be okay. They're not going to give me a hard time. I got my pizza. I came back. When I came back again, I was
excited.
I was. And at that point, I could have pushed the car, like it gotten really close to another car and been over the line. But I said, I'm going to be considerate to the person in front of me and leave a tiny bit of space. So I made a call to do that. I walk the beach constantly. I clean up on the beach constantly, and I wanted to offer. I recognize that I was over the line. There's no question about that. I wanted to offer an alternative.
What would you say to an individual who was put into a worse situation than they might otherwise be had emergency responders, first responders, been able to access them more rapidly? I had another case similar to this last hearing, and it wasn't even, it's frustrating to me because it's so obvious. And, I mean, it can't be more obvious than what, you're right under the sign. And I have a problem with it because, that could be you that needed the rescue. It's common sense.
I understand that. And if you know the situation, where it is, there's a huge area of that. The likelihood of that.
How big are fire trucks? you think they can whip in and out like a motorcycle? No.
I don't
They
know.
need to be
I
anywhere.
recognize that. I recognize
There
it was
might need to be an
wrong.
ambulance, there might need to be a police vehicle, you know, we have to go beyond your convenience to the potentials. And the reason this space is preserved is so that if there is an emergency, they can get immediate access. Yeah,
I recognize
I don't think
it.
it
I
can be
recognize
more clear than that.
Can I offer a plea to
Sure.
clean the beach for an hour?
Well, I'm gonna hear what the city has to say on this, and then we'll think about it.
I walk and I clean the beach regularly anyway. I just
Which
wanted
is
to
much
present that.
appreciated. You know what? We all should do that just as
No,
a matter
no,
of
I just
practice.
wanted to suggest that as a good, as doing something that's more beneficial to the town.
It's not about raising money. It's about making a point. You know,
Well, I won't do that again.
I'm sure you won't. You know, I would be pleased to know that you would not do it again, and if you did do it again, I would be extremely displeased. Yes, sir.
Just gonna say, we would accept the alternative, we would ask the costs be paid, the costs in this case were $9.60. We would accept the alternative remedy, although I think your pattern in the past has been 3 hours of beach cleanup.
Well, I'm inclined to do this, reduce the fine, and also give you the option to do the cleanup, so that there is a bit of a, commitment. If you already are doing beach cleanup as a matter of practice, then, it's not going outside the lines.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, let's see, what is our fine on this one? 142.02.
$60, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, 60. We'll reduce the fine to $30, and you'll do a 3-hour beach cleanup session. How about that?
Okay.
Fair enough? I think that's a very reasonable option, but, if it's not going too far, take the time to share the message with others so that they don't end up having to get lectured. Okay? Again, I hope to speak for the people that can't be heard. That includes the cost, correct, Drew?
Yeah, I'll show them what's on the
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. On the beach cleanup, you can do it within the next 60 days. There's, once a month now, the commissioner?
Is it generally one day?
It's on a Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's on Saturdays typically, I believe. Do you have a second copy?
I prefer to have an extra case I screw on a 100.
Bring that up.
I don't have to.
Oh, you need a second.
Yes, I need it,
yeah.
I need it when I gave you my extra, that was one that I was like. Important, can I see mine so I can match with mine?
Beach cleanup dates, where you meet. 9 a.m. and they provide garbage bags, gloves. And they all do it as a group. It's the Flaggers and Trauma stuff. And then this is the form that you submit back to me. and then they sign off.
Okay.
And I'll have the order for you.
Are we clear? Good?
Yes.
All right. I understand your frustration, but I also hope that you appreciate where I'm coming from.
I do.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
we're in good stead.
We are.
Go ahead and have a good day.
Thank you.
All right.
I just found out I didn't have cancer yesterday, so I'm gonna have a very good day.
Oh, well, that would do it. Congratulations. That's great news. So, that's far more significant. You as well. Good luck. All right, I'm going to postpone the telephone. I'm going to take care of the folks that are here waiting. We'll jump. Yeah. Yep. John, we're going to jump into your cases, and I'll do the telephonic afterwards so that these folks who are waiting are not asked to wait any longer.
I know we have Xander Holding Group here. I'm not sure. I think we have two other sponsors here.
All right, which cases are, so I can take them in, the folks that are here. Ocean View? Okay. All right. I'll give it a minute.
We'll agree to this. So we'll allow this. If you want to stick around, you're welcome to, but if you have to okay, we'll stipulate.
Okay, did you want me to speak?
Actually, if we go ahead and bring this up, then I can get her out. We're gonna continue her case, if we can do this, dispose of that really quickly.
Okay, so that's on Sandy Ridge Investment?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's item 7E, and it's EN 26-0028 Sandy Ridge Investment LLC, which is property at 2261 South Flagler, and that's a matter that's going to be continued?
They're requesting 60-day continuance. We were going to also ask for a continuance because our witness is a doctor and we don't have a witness today. So we were also going to ask for continuance. We'll agree to the 60-day continuance.
All right,
We'll bring it
then-
back in March.
That'll be fine. So we'll see you in March. It'll be the fourth Wednesday of the month.
It'll be the fourth Wednesday too, so if you want, you can just look at the calendar and see. It will be that fourth Wednesday. They're regular.
Very good. All right. Well, have a good day. Thank you. Okay, link back to 7A. And that is case number EEN 26-0049, Gerald and Claudia's Ocean View Plaza LLC, 210 Moody Boulevard. And you were on that, ma'am. If you'd step to the podium and Michelle, if you would swear everyone.
Yes, I swear.
I was going to say, for the record, code enforcement officer was also sworn in there, if you didn't see him.
Okay, ma'am, the city will proceed first, and then we'll hear your side of this situation. Okay.
We had a complaint about garbage can, city cars, visual from the street. And, we had an ordinance against that.
Now, where is this? This is on,
This is, between Willoughby's and,
The pharmacy.
okay,
this is, where I am is almost on Central, we're looking west.
Where is the sidewalk in the street in relation to
It's behind, there's not one on this alley. This is behind Willoughby's here.
Okay. And this is the property owned by Ocean View?
Yes, so this body owns that property. It's sort of an L-shaped property with a large parking lot
All right.
behind it.
All right. Now, okay, there's obviously a collection of cans there. What, John, would be necessary to, comply?
That's in the works. This is taking a little bit of time, but she now has a permit. There is materials on site to enclose this, create enclosures to be able to put the tippy carts in the enclosures.
Will it be one spot for the entire property, or each one will have a separate?
Okay, before we had a big one,
For the record, if you would, please state your full name and address, ma'am.
Claudia Eringer, and the address, this address is my house, 200 Boulevard.
Okay. Is there gonna be a single enclosure for all the cans or multiple ones?
Okay, in this case, it's because we have a big one fence, but the people, they don't want to put, I understand that, they don't want to put
A
walking.
long distance, they don't have the convenience, I get it.
Okay. That's our plan, I have a permit, our plan is, the donor place, he left, he will leave, he's supposed he will leave. No, okay, I'm talking too much. Our plan is to put a little fence close to each person to cover
Okay, there you go.
yeah,
If you're not close to the mic, it doesn't go on the record.
okay.
Yeah, but, so it'll be separate enclosures for each can.
For each,
property.
for 4 or 3 cans. The side is approved, and the material is, everything is ready to go, and they're working today, you know how the situation right now.
The important thing here is that there's a plan and a fix in the works, correct?
Correct, and the city give the permit, thanks God, yeah.
What kind of a time frame, John, are we talking?
The materials, you can even see them. That's this morning.
Here's I'm gonna fast forward here. If there's already a permit and work in progress, let's just bring this back for, to, show that there's been compliance. Okay, and that way, you know, we'll find there was a violation, but it's being cured, and then, we'll just get a status update or conclude the matter. Would 30 days be enough time?
Yes, sir.
Should be, yes, sir.
30 days enough time to complete it?
Yes.
All right. Then what we'll do is just ask you to come back next month to let us know, or you can talk with John and he can report that it's taken care of, and that'll be fine. But you know, we just need to know that it's getting taken care of.
Thank you.
And,
For the order, the note I took was just a finding of violation and then set up for status hearing in February.
correct.
For my birthday.
Well, that's it.
Okay.
And thank you for taking care of it. You know,
All right, thank you, so sorry for my all this crazy, everyone here, okay?
You know what, I'm sure it wasn't, you know, you weren't aware, but, you know, John's doing his job, and now there's...
No, I understand, believe me, I'm very peaceful person, and I lost the city, and the people there feel from my house.
Here's a quick story about garbage cans. I was at the Speedway for the races over the last 2 weeks. And a week ago, on Sunday or Monday, when the storm came through, there have hundreds of garbage cans around the Speedway. Well, guess what? Because they're not secured, they became missiles. Because the winds, you know, it hit hurricane force at one point, and those cans were flying, and the garbage was flying all over the place, and you know, it was pretty crazy. So, you know, the enclosure does more than just obscure for aesthetic purposes. It's also, believe it or not, a safety consideration.
Exactly.
So, thanks for taking care of it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
you for having me here, okay? Thank you.
It's not all bad.
No, life always has say, I'm a very simple person, okay? Always I say life is simple. We sometimes complicate our life, or people try to complicate your life. But you need to look in the best way to have a solution. No only complain, I no can do it. Do something. Sometimes you depend the person. Sometimes you depend. If I say I can do it, but sometimes it depends different people.
Well, thank you for your willingness to do the right thing.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Have a great day.
You too.
You're good to go. Okay.
Xander Holdings is the next case. That's EEN 26-0031 that we have a respondent present for.
Okay, so, good afternoon, sir. Hold on one sec, if you would.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so we're jumping to case number EEN 260031, Xander Holding Group LLC, 2038 South Ocean Shore Boulevard. Let me find that one real quickly, if I may.
And while everybody, while John's getting the PowerPoint, when you're looking for that part of the package, just to update you, I was able to speak to the respondent's representative, and what the city will be asking for today is a finding of violation with 60 days to cure. I think that lines up with their plans for the property, so
All right,
I think we're all on the same page on the outcome, or the outcome for the property, I mean.
All right, well, let me, if I may, if you will, please say your full name and address for the record, sir.
J. Todd Book, 1 Augusta Trail, Palm Coast, Florida, 32137.
Okay, thank you. And John, if you would show me what, okay, is this the property in
Yes,
question?
sir. The siding material up there.
Yep.
It's been loose and some of it's missing. And it's
How long has that probably been the situation? A
been
while?
a few months, yes, sir.
Caused by wind or just deterioration?
I'm guessing wind,
Yeah.
and that's our concern is if we get another
If it
little
keeps
wind.
going, it's gonna keep flying.
Yes, sir.
And it becomes rolling missiles.
Mr. Book called me last week. That was our first communication. Told me he was going to get it taken care of.
Okay. So are we on a plan for cure?
Yep. We talked about 60 days just now.
Is 60
And
gonna
it's
be
not going to be
sufficient?
beautiful, but it won't be unsafe.
All right,
And it'll be covering what needs to be covered.
All right.
And it may require permits, so be sure to work with the building department, which is part of the reason why we've given the 60 days, is make sure there's time for permitting if there's any permits necessary.
And my question of you, is 60 days adequate to accomplish what you need? And how long would it take to get a permit?
Would not take long, less than a week.
Yeah, we should be able to do that.
Is there
I'm
a
not sure why you need a permit just to...
Not, I don't know, I want a building official to have eyes on it before anybody tells you don't need a permit, because I don't want to create another problem for you by doing work without a permit. So just check.
Somebody going to... How does that work? How is somebody going to
Reach out to the building department.
Okay, and then what?
Let them know the work you're planning on doing, and then they will be able to tell you whether or not that work will require a permit.
Okay.
I'm
gonna grab the note in a second.
Okay.
You.
When you said that you may not be aesthetically ideal, what do you mean by that? That there's a problem with securing matching
No, we're not,
siding?
I don't think we're going to be able to, at the moment, replace all that siding.
No.
So it may not match in the color and things like that, or, we try and get close, but it won't be.
Well, it might be just a slight shade off.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that. I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, it looks like it's what, aqua or if it was a drastically different color, that might be an issue, but if it's, in the family of color, that's understandable.
Yes, and really from code enforcement's perspective, as long as that siding is functioning as it's designed and intended in the code enforcement.
Then it's good to go.
Yes, sir.
All right, so are we clear on the plan?
Yes. There was a fine that was talked about being imposed. What is the status of that?
The fine only comes into play, so the magistrate will enter, you'll receive in the mail, the magistrate will enter an order that says, you have 60 days to cure. A fine only comes into the conversation if you miss that 60 days. So we don't fine on the front end, we only fine if you fail to comply with the magistrate's order.
Okay.
Again, my objective is not to get in your wallet. That's not my goal. My goal is that we cure what needs to be cured. And if you have a problem for some reason that you can't meet the timing, reach out. Don't wait for it to pass and then say, well, I couldn't get it done. say, hey, I'm having a problem getting it done, I may need more time, so that, we'll work with you if that's the situation, okay?
Or reach out to yourself? Okay.
Are we good?
I'm good.
All right.
Sorry about the inconvenience.
No, listen, we just are eager. So, the order will reflect that there was a violation. There will be assessment of the costs associated with bringing the matter up, but it'll be minimal. I don't know what are the costs thus far. Maybe I had it. So it's pretty minimal.
Okay, and what?
That's mailing costs and things of that sort.
Okay, so how does that get billed and?
That will also be included in the order you'll receive. It will have that amount, so you don't have to remember anything from this hearing. It will all be in that order. And for payment, should he reach out to finance? You? It will just show that the 1960 is due within 30 days, so wherever he needs to go to pay those costs.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So what will happen then, most likely, is you'll get the order. Michelle will be getting the order probably, but she might have gotten the order the day before because it, won't have to go through the mail. But you'll get the order and you'll create that invoice and email it. So just keep an eye out for that invoice.
Okay. Can you tell me? Let's clarify what address it's going to.
Sure.
Yeah, let's make sure you get it
I think
correct
if it's
address.
the one that's on here, it's accurate.
2038 South Ocean Shore, is that a good address?
No, there's on the, whatever this is called.
We also have 1802 North Alafaya in Orlando.
No, it's 250 Palm Coast Parkway, NE 607-224. It's on the. Please, yes. It's correct. Just make sure it has the 607-224. Okay.
All right,
Make sure we get it, and there's no other issue. Okay.
Well, call John.
Yes. Okay. If I don't get the bill, I'll call John.
If you're on the ladder, be careful.
No, not me. And it's pretty tall. That's another issue that.
I think that's probably a lift bucket. That's,
Probably.
yeah. All right. Well, good luck to you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I know. I do the same thing. Or when we've got a stack this big for commission and they start taking things out of order. It's horrible.
Have a good day. All right. Let's go ahead and you have a couple of these other matters that have come into compliance. Is that my understanding?
What I just said was, since we have a few that have come in compliance, if we could save those to the end, just in case we get delayed between now, because I already called Holly off, because we'll probably be done before she gets here, but just in case we run long, if they're already in compliance, those are easy, and John can handle them without me. So if they have to scoot out, if we can save those for the end, that would help me.
Yeah, I'll be fine. We'll do that. All right, John, what about 7B, EEN 260027 Moody Boulevard Associates, LLC, care of Ken Aston? There's no one here on that matter.
The notice went to the landlord, like it should, and we've contacted them, and we did a notice of violation. Nobody responded. The notice of hearing, we mailed it, posted it. Then I heard from Mr. Ashton. He's listed up there, and he was going to get with Dollar General. He represents the landlord. Dollar General is the tenant. And Dollar General hasn't seen fit to pay their $50 LBTR.
Who has failed to obtain or display the business tax receipt?
Dollar General has the obligation.
Okay. Have they been noticed at all?
Yes, sir. We even posted it out front on their window.
All right. But no response from them?
No, sir.
All right. So, but you've had dialogue with the owner, the landlord's representative?
Yes, sir.
All right, and what's the plan there?
On the 15th, we spoke, and he was going to email his contact with Dollar General and email me the information that he got. I have not gotten anything back from him.
So it's still an open item,
Yes, sir.
unresolved.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know, I'm gonna find that there's a violation, and, let's see, we'll go ahead and start the clock running on,
We were asking, we were gonna allow 30 days to pay. We were gonna ask for 30 days to pay.
before the fine begins to accrue.
Yes, sir, and we'd bring it back for an imposition of fine at that time.
All right, so, 30 days.
And we'd also ask the cost be assessed.
And, you know, something, in light of the nature of the business, $250 a day if there's failure to cure. Maybe that'll motivate people to be responsive.
I would hope so, for $50.
Okay?
And the cost documented by the city are $19.20.
And those will be in addition.
Oh.
Well, they have to apply and pay the fee for that when they apply, do they not?
Well, this is an ongoing issue with the tenants. It's every year that this is late and notices. I've emailed, I've spoken to people. They're very difficult to get a hold of. So we've just come to this point. So.
Well, it's going to be $250 a day if they're not motivated to be timely. How about that? You know, everybody else that has a business, you know, that pays the license fee every year on time. So, you know, there's no basis for an exception. All right. So we're clear on that one?
That's finding a violation, 30 days to pay for current local business tax receipt and all associated fees, plus pay costs of $19.20. If that LBTR is not obtained, a fine of $250 a day to run from the last date, or from the day after the 30 days.
That is correct. And anything further on that one?
No, sir.
Okay, then let's move to case number 7C, EN 26-0043, Golden Magnolia Marine, 1104 South Ocean Shore Boulevard. And that is for a pool not maintained in a clean and sanitary condition and grass not being mowed.
Yes, sir. The grass was taken care of. I'm here, I guess, in a way to ask for a continuance. My complainant lives next door.
Okay.
3-story house.
Right.
She's noticed that all her friends come over, noticed their two pools are green. I was there and noticed it.
What kind of property is the
It's a commercial property. It used to be a bed and breakfast.
Oh, okay.
It's gone way downhill.
All right.
We thought.
Are there other violations there at this time?
Not that I can see because it's all fenced.
Okay.
Nothing right outside the fence. My complainant is not back in town yet, and I thought she was already going to be back in town, so I can't verify whether the pools have been cleaned or not. I strongly believe they have not been cleaned, but I can't really say.
All right. Well, we're going to find a violation. And, you know, what are we talking about as far as, you know, how quickly can that be resolved? 30 days? The problem with the 30 days is that if it's not resolved, then that may be beyond our next hearing date. So I'd like, let's make it 20 days to cure.
I don't know if this will be a problem or not. They've had some tax issues. I think the county posted stuff. We have no contact. Nobody's making any contact with us at all. Nobody comes and goes out of that place.
So it's sitting dormant.
Yes, sir.
20 days should be enough time to allow us to get notice out for a February hearing.
Is that going to work? Okay. And then $250 a day plus the costs. I don't know what else to do in order to get people's attention. Do we have any idea if there's already other liens being imposed by virtue of things with the county?
I think that's what John was alluding to. It sounds like there may be tax liens.
Yeah, there was some kind of orange notice about do not remove this notice for tax purposes.
So it may be in default.
Yes, sir. I don't,
okay.
The last time I talked to anybody in the family, they kind of made it like nobody cares because they're not going to be keeping it.
They're just walking away from it.
Yes, sir.
which means we're gonna have a bigger problem here before long.
So is this a status hearing? Is this a continuance?
No, it would be, if
An
we set, if
imposition
we
of
have to set it,
fines?
it would be for imposition of fines.
Okay, for February.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we're clear on what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
All right. I just can anticipate there'll be enough more violations. The structure itself, is there problems with it that you can see from your access?
Probably could take some pressure washing, a little bit of cleanup, but it's not bad.
It's, okay, it's not like it's falling down.
No, sir.
It's siding or soffits or roof or,
We had them do a little repair on that in the past.
so we're back to, did that ever come before me before?
Sorry, didn't have to go that far this time.
Okay.
Or that time.
All right. All right,
Do we want to have our telephonic, before we move on to the last two code enforcement cases, we want to take care of our telephonic?
yeah, that'll be
parking
fine. I'll
citation?
move over. Let me grab that.
Michelle, can you follow me? Hi, good night. You're welcome. Are you ready? Okay, I know. Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Okay, Ella, if you go ahead and raise your right hand. It's up. Okay, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the testimony you're about to give?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna, let me, bear with me a minute. My name is Gregory Pop. I'm the special magistrate. We are hearing now by telephonic appearance, case number P02289FB, Ella Ray Beavis, who is, speaking with us from her residence, I believe, in Tallahassee. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, that is correct.
Would you state your full name and address for the record?
My name is Ella Ray Beavis, and my address is 1608 Mitchell Avenue, Tallahassee, Florida, 32303.
Okay. All right, ma'am. You are appealing a citation issued on November 16th of last year at 11:07 a.m. involving parking a Toyota RAV4 on South 2nd Street and near Daytona Avenue for parking on the sidewalk. And in your request to be heard today, you submitted a statement that indicated you were staying at the Margaritaville Hotel here and you were asked to move from the parking in the garage to park elsewhere, and in the process apparently parked on a sidewalk. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Now, you indicated in your statement that there were other vehicles parked. Were they also parked as you parked, or were they parked in any different manner?
No, they were parked in the same fashion that I was. It was parallel parking, so I just kind of followed suit because I was flustered having to evacuate that parking lot.
Yeah, I'm going to make an assumption. I don't know it to be a fact, but if you were cited for parking as you did, it would be reasonable to believe that the others were also cited, because I doubt an officer would ticket only one vehicle and ignore the others, unless they weren't there at the same time. But those folks have not appealed. They've paid their fines. let me, is there anything beyond what your statement says that, I know you say you're from Tallahassee, I'm familiar, and, that it was a genuine and honest mistake. The frankly, parking in Flagler Beach is a challenge under the best of circumstances because being a beach community, there's, high volume of outside traffic that comes here, and it's always a challenge. But, you weren't here earlier. We had another matter that involved parking on a sidewalk, and here's what I want to present to you as a very valid reason why parking on the sidewalk is a problem. You're in a wheelchair. You're on crutches. You're pushing a child in a stroller. You are in a motorized scooter as a disabled elderly person. There's a vehicle on the sidewalk. Where do they go now that they can't traverse the sidewalk because it's obstructed? Do they go in the street and put themselves at peril of being hit by a vehicle? Or do they go to a extremely inconvenient approach and having to reverse direction and find some other means to reach their destination? Those are the things that are in the background and the policy behind not parking on a sidewalk, because it presents great inconvenience to pedestrians, whatever manner they might be, and it raises serious safety concerns because of the fact that they may have to enter the roadway in order to go around. And I have to tell you, you think that it's not a risk, but people are hit using marked crosswalks on an all too frequent basis. So with all that in mind, what do you think is the right thing to do here?
No, I absolutely understand where you're coming from, and that makes total sense. I didn't know that it was a sidewalk, and I think outside of my written testimony, the only thing that I can say to kind of state a case for myself, the hotel had made phone calls to everyone that was parked in that garage that morning to move. They did not call my room, so I didn't know until I was about to check out, and it was at the very last second before they started ripping out that parking lot of the Compass Margaritaville. So I was very frustrated having to move my car, and I just moved it, right in front of, I was going to that cafe, Sunrose Cafe. I don't know if you're familiar. It's right there on the intersection of, I guess, Daytona Ave and South 2nd Street.
Yep.
And like I said, since there were already cars that were parked on the sidewalk, I just followed suit thinking that it was, some sort of parallel parking situation, and obviously it wasn't. And I learned my lesson there. So, I'm obviously very apologetic. I don't ever want to put anyone in this situation, if there were to be children or, someone in a wheelchair, what have you, that was obstructed. That would never be my intention, but it was, coming from a genuine error on my end and just being flustered to have to evacuate my parking spot from the hotel.
I think the city attorney wants to say something. No.
I don't necessarily want to, but I'm ready to. We would accept a reduced fine in this case. And the original citation amount was $100. And it's the reason for that willingness on our part is because of the circumstances that have been described. We take no issue with those circumstances, as well as she is from far out of town, Tallahassee. She really is not familiar with the area, and the fact that it sounds like probably a lot of people were told to move their cars and parked on that sidewalk. So yes, it is lemming behavior, but it's hard to fault her. So we would accept a reduced penalty.
All right. Well, are you? Let's see.
The original citation amount would have been $100.
$100.
The city's cost have been $9.60.
Right. What would the city propose as a reduced fine?
In my head, I had $50.
Okay. Mayor, the city is suggesting a $50 fine plus recovery of the costs associated with the appeal. Are you going to be good with that?
There's nothing else I can do at this point, so that works.
Okay, well, let's do that, and, I'm sorry that you were pushed out by the hotel, and unfortunately, it's a situation that, again, we can't kind of turn our back on it. We've got to deal with it in a reasonable manner, and I would ask you on your own volition to embark on a little bit of an educational effort with people you know that are drivers about the importance of not obstructing sidewalks, as I explained to you earlier. It's not just inconvenience, but it's a safety matter, if you would, please.
Yes, sir, absolutely understand. I appreciate that, and I thank you all for your time. I don't know, is this something that you all will mail to me, or I receive electronically?
We'll receive the order in the mail.
And do you have her email address, Michelle?
Yeah, I have your email address, and I will follow up with you on an email on the order also, so you have it, and then the invoice and how to pay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You have a good day, ma'am. Thank you, and hopefully this doesn't spoil your taste for Flagler Beach. We'd love to have you come back.
No, I will be back. I frequent Ormond Beach quite a bit, so I'll have to travel up a little bit north into you again. I appreciate it.
Okay. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Thank you. You have a good evening. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. We are now up to matter number EEN. We're back to code enforcement cases. EEN 26-0026, J. Hanuman LLC, 1224 South Ocean Shore Boulevard. And let me just refresh my recollection so I know what we're talking about here, and that is failure to display a business tax receipt.
Hotel. It took quite a bit, hand delivery, posting. Some cooperation, and then they finally paid it for this. Problem with them is that almost every single year.
When did it was it paid after they had been issued a notice of violation?
Oh, no, sir, after the notice of hearing.
So it was down to the wire.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So to address the future, we are asking for a finding of violation so that in the future it can be treated as a repeat violation. And we're also asking for imposition of the city's costs.
Yes.
Which those costs incurred by the city, Doug, let's see, were $19.20.
All right. Well, that will be what I'm going to order. And when you say difficult, were they avoiding you or argumentative or what?
I don't think so. I think they just think this is a minor little thing. And I think there's a lot of family members intertwined, and messages probably aren't passed to the right people.
All right. So.
But you would think after the 4 years I've been here, they would have figured the system out. Like put it in your phone as an alarm.
Is there any kind of a language issue or?
No, sir, not really.
No. So it's not lack of understanding of the obligation.
Maybe, I don't know how many family members come and go.
Yeah.
I don't know how long some of them have been working there. Maybe they just don't understand. Apparently, I've reached somebody that did understand and decided to do something.
So it's been paid. Is it properly displayed? Do we know?
Actually, I need to go back and look at that.
If it's not properly displayed, what are we going to do? Drew?
I'll bet you that can be solved pretty quick this time.
It might be, but
We will.
It is. I know that it's a requirement that it be.
Given that they know they need to obtain it, we will assume that they have properly displayed it. If not, John can work with them, and if they refuse to properly display it, it will be a repeat violation.
Very well. Okay, there we go. You'll send me an order. last but not least is 7GEN 26-0021, Fagan, Jack Wayne, and Paul Michael Fagan, joint tenants with right of survivorship, 1536 South Ocean Shore Boulevard, and this one involves failure to have the business tax receipt displayed.
Violation in October, notice the hearing in December, they signed for it, and it was just paid, a couple weeks ago.
Was that for the 2025 business tax receipt or the 2026?
This was for a business that opened without a business license, completely new business.
Okay, so they were trying to go under the radar or did go under the radar?
They flat out said right to city staff that they were gonna open, and they did.
And just, was it with defiance when they said that?
I couldn't say what their motive behind it was,
All
but
right, well, I mean, I'm trying to read between the lines here, but,
Well, I can tell you that they told Gary and I that the fire department, fire marshal had been there twice, and we found out he hadn't been there at all at that time.
Drew, are those licenses based on an annual from January to December? Or are they from October to September?
October, September, they're on the city's fiscal year.
And so, what, this violation was issued initially on,
October 30th.
so it
That was
was
for the current LBT.
the current one. Okay, I'm just trying to see if we're already into a new cycle without compliance, but, all right. Same thing.
Finding of fact, they're now in compliance, pay costs of
It looks like,
$19.20.
oops, where's that page? 31, oh, that's administrative, 1920. What are we doing about the administrative costs? Are we not imposing
Still
those?
working on it, just finally, that's part of the reason we have to go to the county tonight is because we have finally, we're almost through the issue that's bottlenecked commission. So, there's still probably 2 more meetings of bottleneck meetings, but we're moving in that direction.
All right, so we're talking about, and costs. All right, so that disposes of all the matters to be heard today. Now, what's coming around the bend?
all the cases that I have to notice for February from today. So those.
Those plus,
2, parking site, no, 3 now.
and
The
stay tuned to maybe
continuance, and
more.
then there's 2,
Yeah.
and so far that's all I have. I don't know if John has anything.
The busy day. What was it that was, you thought that, as I recall, there was some comment that there was going to be actions at the commission level that was going to prompt a number of code enforcement matters. Is my memory serving me correctly?
That code enforcement generally around early fall, mid-fall,
Yeah.
code enforcement was popping up, which that's why I had made that comment that there was being specific types of violations. And I think you've probably been working on those and what they were.
I think you're
But again-
talking about the courtesy notice.
Right, well, that was all part, it
Yeah.
was a broader conversation. So it was more work for code enforcement. How many of those cases actually make their way to the magistrate, I never know. But I knew there were being directives sent to code enforcement on certain types of violations.
Well, just to give you kind of a snapshot of how much the workload has intensified.
Yep.
We're actually looking into the planning department is gonna be buying their own glass case out front for all the postings that we have to do now, 'cause we're taking up too much space. We're running out of room.
Well, what's going on, sometimes people won't pick up their mail, they won't sign for mail. So they're here, we're posting them or hand serving them.
I understand. Service is always a challenge. Drew, refresh my recollection, posting on the property and here at is that included in the appropriate ordinance for
It's in the statute.
protective service?
It's actually in the statute, chapter 162 is where we get that from, that is how chapter 162 requires us to post, is that we post both the property and the message board at City Hall.
Okay, so that's, yeah, okay. I was trying to remember whether it was by special manner in the ordinance.
Statute, yeah, that's the statutory notice provision that we're following, yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
With some good news, 1201 South Central, on the book somewhere, I don't know where we are, it's already been here a few times.
Yeah.
They took care of the roof, they took care of the soffit, plants of Tim cutbacks are cleaning up the property, and they're finally gonna do something with it.
How long has that been working?
Only 1336 South Flagler, which has nothing done to it.
And where, is that in the pipe to come back and see us?
No, the commission's already granted for us to move forward with foreclosure on 1336.
Have I issued a
First one he mentioned.
1201 South.
Oh, 1201, no, they were given,
Yeah, that's, because that was also, I was gonna
Right.
update the message, that's what I'm thinking of.
right,
We were given authorization to foreclose, we were moving forward with that, literally like the week that we were about to file. Counsel for the heirs, really, of that estate reached out and said, heirs just found out what was going on, we're very sorry what's happened. Do you think the city commission, would it happen to be a city commission night? I said, I'm going there tonight and I will ask. So I asked the commission if they would agree to an abeyance, basically, of 90 days to allow them to do what it sounds like they've done, which is to get that property brought into compliance, so that now they can come to the commission and ask for a reduction of that accrued fine.
That's a big number.
It was, yes, sir, but so it was, to hear that they are almost done, that makes me happy, because that is one where, somebody called and said, hey, we just found out about this, we want to make it right, and they actually went out and did what they said, so.
Okay, all right, well, that's a good outcome, albeit from the back door, but.
Well, if you're curious what the story was, at least as explained to me by counsel, was that actually I think it was a trust, was it a trust or an estate? I can't remember. The responsible party, I think it was an estate, but the responsible party
Right.
also fell ill, and like seriously ill. She was also older, seriously ill for the better part of a year. And so that's when it fell into a state of disrepair.
Yep.
And again, the beneficiary, it is a trust. The beneficiaries of that trust had no idea, because the notices are going to responsible party.
Right.
And she's ill and not able to, not communicating any of that information. So it really was somehow or another the authorization to foreclose and it coming to the city commission is what, however it found their way to council. That's how they found out about it, just hearing it through internet search or whatever, and that popping up and alerting them that there's a problem we were not aware of, and immediately reached out to the city and said, we want to make it right.
It may have even been a public record search or something that showed the link, yeah. All right, and then the other one, still.
That one is ducking of service, so I think we've finally gotten permission from the court to advertise service, but it was months of service attempts, and then finally process server, they're out in California, so it's not like we're using a local or a sheriff.
Yep.
And finally process server, alerts us, we're convinced they're ducking service at this point. What do you want us to do? We can try to stake out. And they did 24-hour stakeout, and they could not get them, so that's when we said, all right, we're just going to have to advertise, so that's where we are with that one.
Oh, geez, unbelievable. All right, anything other?
I have a question for Drew.
Okay.
When I was doing all the templates for the notices, the only one I couldn't find was the imposition of fines notice.
Notice of hearing?
Yes,
Okay. I'll send you one.
thank you.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Anything from you, madam?
No, sir.
Works far faster, smarter, harder. Keep up. We'll get you skates. You can zoom. or electric. electric, one of those wheel things, a big fat wheel it's like a skateboard that's self-powered. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, it's a fat wheel. Yeah, yeah. Oh, she says no. Never mind. On that happy note. She is indeed. Anything else from you, sir? Drew? And we shall declare ourselves adjourned.